I talked a lot about the dimension or challenges faced by PWDs, people suffering with disability in public places, even within the family circle, where they are believed. A lot of families believe that they are taboos, that they are witches and wizards, or that they are disabled because of a curse placed or an ancestral curse placed on the person. They give their name callings based on negative beliefs and misconceptions, structural limitations. They cannot access adequate healthcare and other educational facilities. In schools, they are stared at. They are shunned. They are not allowed to ask questions. There are no assist devices to help these people, even in schools. Physical needs are not provided for, even by families. The family that is supposed to be a haven of peace for these people is no longer such a haven. And because also the society even shuns such family. When you want to marry, they will say, have you checked the family very well? Is it not that family that has 2 blind people? That thing could be genetic. Didn't you see one lame person there? Don't you know that they are lame people? So the family is discriminated against. Because of that, the family turns it against the innocent disabled person. The deaf children, they suffer this. And it is because of these retrogressive cultural beliefs. I've discussed them being seen as a burden to be cared for. And family members quickly remove that oxygen from them because they feel they are helpless. And this helpless family made these people to so see themselves as object of pity that they begin to develop or have what you call family or domestic violence being visited on them. Wives are literally raped by their husbands who do not care whether they are in need of that sexual intercourse at that moment, because after all, the husband is going to help her later to go to the urinal or to go out. Some get angry enough, they take the clutches and break them to pieces and say, let me see how you will move again. So that domestic violence is there, particularly which is gender-based. And then because of this impact of sustained abuse, they begin to develop inferiority complex, having intellectual and cognitive disability. And guess what? They begin to suffer what you call the Stockholm syndrome. This Stockholm syndrome is a syndrome where the servant or the tormented or the slave begins to see the tormentor or the slave owner as his best friend. And he now leans towards him for help with love. So when day breaks, under Stockholm syndrome, the slave will call the master, good morning, sir. You have forgotten, you have not slapped me this morning. Here's my face to be slapped. After being slapped, he will lie on the ground and say, sir, don't forget to match me, to walk on me when you are going out. We call it the Stockholm syndrome. He has been so berated that he now falls in love with the traducer. I've looked at this from every angle: educational environment, social environment, the schools, in terms of also the school curriculum, which does not take care of their special needs. And as I round up, having Braille material, textbooks designed for them, special CDs, and flash drives. The sexual molestation, where they are being helped, maybe on the stairs. The people who are helping them are touching them in their private parts. And the disabled person, young lady, cannot say anything. So I conclude that we should not treat them like this as outcasts. The same way Stanley once treated his people of Russia. You know what he told his people? He said, for you to govern a people well and torment them, you first of all have to deprive them, put them under severe deprivation. He said, I will give you an example. He asked for a fowl, a chicken. They brought the fowl. He started plucking out the feathers of the fowl one by one. The fowl was bleeding and croaking. He was plucking out the feathers one by one. The fowl was bleeding. The whole body of the fowl was blood-soaked. And then he said, watch me. He dropped the fowl on the ground. The fowl started dawdling away, in pains and agony. Then he put Stanley dipped hands in his pocket and brought out some grain of corn and called out to the same fowl. And that same fowl that had just run away from the tormentor because of the agony and pains came back to Stanley, who bent down with his palm and started feeding from his palm again. That is what our governments have done to the people of this country. They so punish you that when you are going for election, they are going for election, they give you 2,000 to 10,000 naira to buy your 4 years ahead. And because you are poor, you take that mudu of rice or mudu of gari or mudu of salt, which is a Greek gift. We should not fall for it. And that is what they want the slave people, people with disabilities to solve. So the recommendations here, a lot of them are already in this Edo State law. As I round up, any actions or activities that will invade the personality, dignity, and life of people with disabilities should be severely denounced and discontinued. Government should design policies to combat all forms of abuse and discriminatory practices against the PWDs by undertaking the effective and appropriate measures aimed at raising awareness throughout the country. Page 23 of 24 for those who have the paper. Family members should develop a strong love for those with one disability form or the other, with the assumption that no one is free from health challenges which can render one dependent on others for survival. Where one broomstick is alone, you break it easily. But when you bunch them together, it becomes difficult, impossible to break. So when we bunch together with our disabled persons, together we will all be happy. Both governments and NGOs should help in the provision of assistive devices, skills, and training needed by the PWDs in schools to enable them to participate actively and equally like every other student. Policies that would prioritize the education of these people should be formulated and implemented. Security personnel and other key shareholders should be well trained to detect unreported exploitation and abuse of PWDs in schools and at home. Where it is observed that the rights of these people are infringed, individuals in the community should take it as a responsibility to report such cases to appropriate authorities for swift action to be taken. Laws criminalizing discrimination and segregation against these PWDs should be strictly enforced. Strictly enforced. Public and social institutions and organizations that fail to accord PWDs special treatment as provided for by our laws like this Edo State law should be severely sanctioned. And finally, laws should be amended to insist that at every public function, there must be a sign interpreter, whether or not there is presence of people who are in need of an interpreter, such as deaf persons. There must be one. And remember, as I go to my seat, that all of us are disabled in one form or the other. But that if we want to be free people, we should remove that DIS from that disable. Then we'll become able. By the grace of God, all of us are able. God bless you all.
There, our keynote speaker is taking a bow after taking us on a journey expounding the expectations of the government and citizenry of Nigeria towards its people who are with other kinds of abilities, as he has also elicited. Sir, we are deeply grateful to you for honoring us and for shedding such light. Please continue to make some noise and appreciate the senior advocate of the masses, the senior advocate of NAPVID, our very own Chief Professor Mike Ozekome. We are highly appreciative of you, sir. Thank you so much. Not a dull second throughout the entire exposition, and we are grateful. The Resilient Net, a project to which our executive director alluded to earlier, will be flagged off right now, and Comrade Austin Osakwe would be leading those who would come up to give us, shed some more light into what this project hopes to achieve, adding to the words of our ED saying how it will attract the right palliatives. But give us a little more insight, and then we'll have the official flag off. Please welcome Austin Osakwe, Comrade Osakwe, as he comes forward. And I think he's also coming in tow with another association of people, the Edo Disability Forum. Welcome him resoundingly, please. Member, Board of Trustees, of course. Thank you so much, sir.
My assignment here is a very brief one, but not too brief to pay respect to dignitaries here present, members of the Board of Trustees led by our able chair, the retired Justice Isibo. I greet you all, sir. What more can we say to Chief Professor Ozekome, except to just mention that today he was in his element, and I'm sure as he has always been for decades, of delivering to the Nigerian people. Respected, very learned Sikh, we greet you, sir, and we say thank you. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and management of NAPVID, I'd like to present Resilient Net. Nigerians in recent months have been pummeled to a point where they are hardly sure of the next meal. Things have always been bad, but they have become worse in the past few months. Of specific mention is the fact that fuel price moved from about 147 naira per liter to now 650 naira per liter. That's a major jump. 500%, sir. And of course, there's a cyclical effect. The increase in price of fuel in Nigeria touches every other thing, every other commodity. The result is that the disposable income of the average Nigerian has become so little that he can hardly afford anything. But it's even more so for people living with disability. And like the learned son has mentioned, we're all abled, but not equally abled. Some are more abled than others. And I like to submit that persons living with disability are less abled than others in our common ability. And the reason is clear. If we were to run to Ring Road, the city center here today, and we were to rule a line and say, on your marks, get set, go, it is then you realize that we all pay lip service to equality and equity in this country. It will be unfair, unjust, and indeed criminal to allow Mr. Oriwo, who is just coming up now on a wheelchair, to stand on the same line with several other persons here to run to the city center from the same point. And if we are not being hypocritical, we must show a reason why these persons, who out of no fault of theirs, have found themselves at a point where they require some additional support and encouragement to feel a sense of belonging in this commonwealth, in this society that we all lay claim to as our own. So, what NAPVID is embarking on with a little fund, and I like to say that as we are here, please, when we talk about donor funds, people get the impression that it must come from the white man. How did the white man cause the problem? That they must continually be the ones to come as spoon feeders. We have those who are eminently qualified in our midst, within the country, within the state, whom God has blessed with immensity of resources, who can put something on the table to make the lives of others just a little better. And if we pitch in a little here, a little there, that which we are looking for, far away from the lands of this country, can be available right near us. So what has happened is that NAPVID has a little resources, very little. And they have decided to use that resource to carry out a series of advocacies on government, ministries, departments, and agencies of government. Government at levels of states and the local government. Government at legislative, executive. To say, look, everybody is suffering the impact of COVID, which has subsisted, of increase in the price of fuel, and by implication, astronomical increase in the prices of commodities. Those who were paying rent before will continue to pay rent, but they will know the difference. These persons you are talking about, PWDs, many of us forget that just like us, they have children in school. We all forget that if we need Medicare, they need it more. There is a sister of mine here in a wheelchair. It's our family of NAPVID, so I call her my sister. She's about to proceed to law school. Kindness. I hope she's around. Where's Kindness? Please locomote majestically towards the front here. She's about to proceed to the law school. When she gets there, she's not going to be charged less than other prospective lawyers. So, the point NAPVID is making is that government needs to be aware that these people exist. Government needs to know the needs of these people, general needs and special needs. It is the process of bringing this to the attention of government that we refer to as advocacy. Please, can we give a hand to Kindness? Turn her around, let them see her. Beautiful. So at times when you see that beautiful smile, you forget that she's in a wheelchair. She was not given free marks. I remember that we're all here, along with the members of and chairman of the board of trustees, to see this girl into the university. It was a major challenge. She wrote exams like every other able person. Passed in flying colors. Went into the school and succeeded like others, if not even more. So today, we want to present the forum of PWDs who will be involved in this advocacy to government, ministries, departments, and agencies. Why a forum? NAPVID over time has set the pace in bringing together all shades of persons with disability. Whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. NAPVID is not speaking only for the visually impaired, but for all categories of disability. The essence of this forum, therefore, is to ensure a consensus, having done some needs assessment. It is this forum that will be carrying out these advocacy visits over the next few months. They've been undergoing trainings, their capacity is being built to do this, and they want to show that if it is worth doing at all, it's worth doing by themselves. Please, let's receive members of this forum. Please just come over this way. Members of the forum that will conduct these advocacies. Please lead them here. Lead them here, please. Kindness is already here. Kindness, please just stay. They are the ones who will be conducting these advocacy visits over the next few months. The major thrust of these advocacy visits to government and its agencies is the fact that we have heard that government intends to distribute palliatives. The word palliative has been so abused around the country. The thrust is whatever government has as plans to mitigate the hardship that people are undergoing as a result of the events which have happened in the recent past, including the galloping inflation and the fact that even to buy garri now is measured against the dollar. This advocacy is to let government know that people like this exist in their thousands in our state. The second is to let government know that this body has conducted some research and therefore is making recommendations on how this mitigation will be done. On behalf of the chairman and members of the board of trustees, please allow me to present this very varied advocacy forum representing different groups of disability. Being ably led here by our president, the executive director of NAPVID, the very erudite, very sagacious, very dogged Melody Omosa. The microphone will find him now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Austin Osakwe, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The Edo Disability Forum has just been inaugurated, and as Mr. Osakwe said, we're going to be coming to the MDAs of government, sit with them. Government is very willing to serve. They have inclusive policies. We only want to tell them how to serve us. And I believe that their doors will be open to us. Thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you.
So next is to unveil. There is an unveiling. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Let's take it to the front this way. And we take it. Just pull it up. It is my honor and privilege to unveil the NAPVID Resilient Net, empowering inclusivity and adaptability for persons with disabilities in emergency. And if there has ever been an emergency, we are passing through one now. The goal is to advocate for the introduction of disability-centered sustainable programs that will address the effects of the fuel subsidy removal and other economic policies on PWDs in Edo State. And the strategy is evidence-based, collaborative advocacy. Please join me to celebrate and formally inaugurate the Forum for NAPVID Advocacy to Government. Thank you very much. So may I ask these very distinguished members of this forum to again move majestically to their seats. This assignment has been done, it's been delivered, and I rest. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Another round of applause for Comrade Austin Osakwe, Member Board of Trustees of NAPVID. Thank you for that. We're making this very snappy now. We have to shut down in a couple of minutes, so we'd like to appeal to all others who will be coming here to carry out any assignment to make it as quickly as possible. We would like to make welcome the representative of ROLAC to share a few remarks. Can we put our hands together for the representative of ROLAC to share a few remarks? Can we have the representative of ROLAC here? Okay, let's have the NDI presentation now. Very quickly, please. The NDI presentation. Kelly Jones is the Senior Resident Director for the National Democratic Institute, and he has a message that has been sent to this event. Can we pay attention and watch? Can that play? Okay, while we wait to take that, please. We've come to a very, very unique and critical part of today's event. A very touching and moving one, particularly for those of us in NAPVID. One of our Board of Trustees members who just spoke made reference to Kindness Idahosa and one other person. At this point, we are going to be presenting scholarships to 2 law school-bound students with disabilities. Distinguished guests, can we put our hands together as we make welcome Okosun Constance and Kindness Idahosa. Can we make welcome Okosun Constance and Kindness Idahosa? Just before I make welcome the representative of the mother of the day, the wife of the Edo State Governor, can they come forward so that I can just give a background to their story? Kindness Idahosa is a lady in her late 30s. She hails from Ovia Northeast local government area in Edo State. She is an orphan who became physically challenged 23 years ago due to a disease known as hereditary sensory neuropathy. Before she became challenged, she was a GS2 student of Idia College. As a result of this disease, she dropped out of school and was at home for 13 years. Imagine a child who was in GSS2, experiences this challenge, and sits at home for 13 years. That was until NAPVID intervened in 2013. Upon NAPVID's intervention, she was enrolled back in school and started from where she left off in GS2. The mere mental strength needed after 13 years to go back to GS2 is something very strong. But she had the resolve, as many persons with disabilities have. The resolve is not the problem. The desire to be successful is not the problem. Society has to play its own role to match that resolve, that passion, and that commitment by providing whatever is necessary for them to achieve that. She started from GS2. NAPVID saw her through her secondary and tertiary institution. NAPVID was responsible for everything she required to go through secondary school, to go through the university. Today, she is a graduate of the University of Benin, where she studied law. Come January next year, she will be proceeding to law school. Today, before I say what NAPVID is supporting her with a round of applause, can we make welcome the representative of the wife of the Edo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Oblaseki, represented here by the Commissioner for Gender Operations. Commissioner for Social Development and Gender Issues. I beg your pardon, my apologies. You're welcome, ma. So you'll be helping us with the presentation. And what are we presenting to them today? NAPVID is going to be presenting her with an HP laptop and the sum of 500,000 naira to assist her to proceed to the law school. Kindness Idahosa, distinguished guests. From JS2 to law school, NAPVID has been responsible for her education. Holy. Congratulations, Kindness. We look forward to you graduating from law school and joining Barrister Melody in this massive assignment to improve the lives of PWDs. Can we put our hands together for her? Congratulations. Okosun Constance is a lady in her early 30s from Asan West local government area in Edo State. She is visually impaired from a family of 7. Her father is a farmer and her mom a petty trader. She is one of the first beneficiaries she is one of the first beneficiaries in 2012 when NAPVID launched the project NAPVID Education Fund. NAPVID has been responsible for her education from secondary to tertiary level. Today, she is a graduate of Ambrose Ali University Ekpoma, where she also studied law. NAPVID is supporting her today with an HP laptop and also the sum of 500,000 naira to assist her proceed to law school. Can we put our hands together for Okosun Constance? What would have been their stories if NAPVID had not intervened? Where would Kindness Idahosa have been if NAPVID had not intervened? The answer to that is not very far. For 13 years, where was she? That's the question we should ask. It just tells us where she probably would still have been. Thank you so much. After doing that presentation, I'd like to kindly request the Honorable Commissioner to hold on. NAPVID has a presentation for the wife of the governor, Dr. Betsy Obaseki, and they will be doing that now. And will please ask that you receive it on her behalf. The wife of the governor has been very, very integral to a lot of our activities. She's been very supportive. In one of these events a couple of years ago, she was with us. Okay, yes, I think Kindness and Constance can go back to their seats now while we quickly have the presentation. Okay.
Good evening. You will all agree with me that it has been a wonderful day. We don't end occasions like this, persons with disabilities, without saying thank you to those who honor, they say give honor to whom honor is due. We will agree with me that Edo State government has been setting the pace, and they are still setting the pace. So that is why the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities is an umbrella body of all persons with disabilities, including NAPVID. We are doing this together. So we have come here to say thank you to our governor. So we want to quickly invite our guest lecturer for today before he moves away, Professor Chief Mike Ozekome, to help us present this to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State. This is in recognition of what he has been doing for persons with disabilities in Edo State.
This award of excellence is presented to His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, the Governor of Edo State, in recognition of his overwhelming commitment to disability matters, as well as the establishment of the disability law in Edo State. Congratulations, Your Excellency, given to you today, the 3rd of December 2023, by John Mapu. God bless you. Jonah, please. God bless him. Thank you. And it's been received by the beautiful Commissioner for Social Development and Gender Integration, Honorable Christabel Omo Ekun. Honorable Christabel Omo Ekun. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our distinguished lecturer.
The other award goes to Her Excellency. We call her the Mama of the State. This is the best Mama Award we are giving out from NAPVID. It will be given by the representative of the CJ. Madam, CJ, the representative of the CJ, to be given by her. We had earlier given an award to the CJ. So thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Presents this award of excellence to the wife of the governor, Mrs. Betsy Obaseki, in recognition of Your Excellency's indisputable demonstration of love towards the disability community in Edo State. Congratulations, Your Excellency. And it's going to be handed over to Christabel. Thank you very much.
Mama, we are very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Thank
Face
you.
the camera.
The next award goes to our amiable, hardworking, beautiful, swagalicious, Honorable Commissioner for Gender and Disability Inclusions. It will be presented to her by our own daddy, the father that gave birth to the disability law in Edo State, Dr. Odbayuwana Osagi. So please. Thank you.
And we'll put our hands together for the member of NAPVID's Board of Trustees. These are people very, very dear and special to us. Very, very dear and special to us. Our Board of Trustees are just amazing.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to present this award to Honorable Mrs. Christabel Omo Eku in recognition of her leadership and professionalism in discharge of her duties as the Commissioner of Social Development and Gender Issues in Edo State. We are very proud of her, and this is just a token of our appreciation. Congratulations, Honorable. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes.
So simple yet so powerful.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right, can we make this snappy? We're shutting down shortly. Thank you very much, distinguished Commissioner. You can take your seats now. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's event. Oh, with who? All right, very, very quickly, something special we need to do very quickly, just lasting a few minutes. It is very interesting for us in NAPVID because the chairman of our Board of Trustees, his birthday usually falls around this event, and we do not fail to celebrate, recognize, and appreciate him, not just for what he does for NAPVID, but the service he has rendered to our state. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, join me with a round of applause as we recognize and sing a happy birthday for our chairman of the Board of Trustees of NAPVID, our father. Very sound, very supportive, very strong, very dependable chairman. Justice Isibo has opened a lot of doors for NAPVID. There are doors we get to, we find locked. Once we call upon him, he brings out his magic key to get that door open. We can't thank you enough, sir. We can't celebrate you enough. Thank you so much. I remember he came for one of our events as a speaker, as a guest. And that day he said this was going to be a lifelong relationship, and he has kept to his part. Happy birthday, sir. The representative of the Chief Judge will be presenting a birthday card, if I'm correct, to him on behalf of all of us. The card is coming. A card. A card. Thank you so much, our chairman. Thank you so much. While he's still standing, no need for him to sit down again. We would like to make welcome the chairman, NAPVID Board of Trustees, Justice P.O. Isibo retired, the birthday boy, to come to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of NAPVID. Can we put our hands together for him?
The Executive Director of NAPVID, Melody Omosa, a man in whom I have a lot of respect for his doggedness, astuteness, sagacity, intellectual prowess. The various commissioners who are present here this evening, the representative of the Chief Judge of Edo State, that is my primary constituency, even though I've now left. Last year was great because the ceremony of today, the 11th series in this right above lecture series, the 11th one, that one fell on the 4th of December, which is indeed my birthday. So by tomorrow, it will be my 73rd birthday. Tomorrow. I will keep it low-key. It's going to be low-key because 73 is not normally celebrated elaborately. Let me also thank all those who are present. May I now say, let me please stand on the existing protocol which has been reeled out much earlier than now. There is no doubt that NAPVID has come a very long way indeed. And I've been an insider for over 10 years now. Over 10 years. I want to thank you all for being part of this success story. It is a joyful task that I've been asked to perform, and I will be very, very brief because everybody here deserves to be thanked, all of you, for the guest lecturer. I must single him out because this is a man who has carved a niche for himself in the legal profession. In fact, I put him in the class of late Mudiaga Oje, and when you go beyond the shores, I will put him in the class of a legal icon who we grew up to know in the early 60s. He was a British lawyer who was to have come to defend Awolowo. Chief of Bafemi Awolowo had problems in gaining entry into this country. So, Chief of Bozekome, I put you in the class of Dingu Food. Class of Dingu Food. This is a man. Bozekome is a man who works across all courts in this country, including the Supreme Court, with a giant's footstep. Giant footstep. May God continue to prosper you. And then we know all that you are doing for the poor. You will never see him shunning any occasion such as this because he's a human rights activist. He has paid his dues and he has paid it very well. Well, I want to thank my colleague in this fair, Dr. Osage Obayuwana. He will come to all locations. We still have 5 others. Osakwe, who has just left, is one of us. Professor Lilian Salami is also one of us. And 2 others. But among them all, Dr. Obayuwana towers above them because he will never miss any of our activities. Thank you very much. Please sustain all that you've been doing, and God will continue to bless you. Let me thank every other person, various commissioners, the representative of the Chief Judge, who have come to grace this occasion. But the person to be thanked most is the Excellency, the Governor of Edo State. He has been the live wire of this outfit in recent years. All these things that we are doing would not have been at this scale at all. But for the stupendous assistance he renders to us every month. By the time I mentioned the amount the governor gives to us every month, some people will be surprised to say that we don't even need any assistance from any other person. Michael Zakome has given us 500,000 naira. for the disability law, Edo State disability law. I'm sure this would go around all those who are in the hall for today, because we are also going to subsidize it. If we find that there's a shortfall, we'll make sure that it is subsidized. We want everybody to get a copy of this law, the Edo State disability law. That is the citation. I have that from the citation. That is the way it should be called. Edo State disability law, for short. So once again, I want to thank you all. It's been a great day. And I'm sure with the assistance we are getting from government, we will continue to sustain all our programs at an unprecedented scale. We had problems before. When I first came on board, most of our activities were low-keyed. And for the past 2 years, when the governor came to our aid, it has been a different story altogether. May God bless Mr. Governor. May God give him the wherewithal to be able to sustain all that he has been doing, not just for NAPVID, but for every facet of this society. It's at the twilight of his administration. Whoever is coming to succeed him, we will make sure that he sustains this stupendous amount he gives us every month, which has made us very thick. We will not hesitate. We will go in full force to meet whoever is his successor to ensure that what we get from the government does not dwindle. We're going to keep it at the pace at which it is. And to be humble enough, I want it to be noted that the governor gives us 5 million naira every month. 5 million every month. That's what the governor gives us. We have never had this so good. We have never. We pray for him. God will continue to bless him. Even when he leaves office, the government of Nigeria will give him something which may even surpass what he has for now by the grace of God. So I want to thank you all. I don't want to make a very long speech by way of a vote of thanks. So I thank you all. Thank you very much indeed. God bless you all.
And we thank you so much. Many thanks to our Chairman, Board of Trustees, for thanking us so wonderfully. Please appreciate him, the birthday boy who will be 73 tomorrow. More grace, and more grace. Our sincere thanks also to the Chairman of Igweben Local Government for the contribution of 100,000 naira. We are indeed grateful. Please put your hands together. Myself and my colleague, Boogie, shall we sign out? It's been an incredible time serving today, from afternoon till tonight. Our distinguished guests who are still here, we would ask to come to the front of the stage for a final group shot before we say good night. So our executive director will lead the Honorable Commissioner and our keynote speaker. Members of the Board of Trustees, our DG Jupsa, please to the front of the room for a final shot for tonight. Boogie, all right, bring our keynote speaker to the front. Bring them for a group shot, please. Bring our executive director. The Honorable Commissioner is already here. Please bring them for this group photograph before we say goodnight. Madam Ojugo should also be in this shot. Madam Anne Ojugo. Has she, I know she must be around. Is she close by? Is she? No, she's not here. Okay, so we'll take it. Take it one.
Please, just before the photographs, we just got, I think we should take the photographs then. We have the representative of our chairman for today's event, the representative of Senator Adams Aliu Oshomole, who came in a bit late because of where he was coming from. So he's going to be sharing a few remarks immediately after the group photograph. Just a few remarks.
Express my love. Say thank you. So simple, yet so powerful. So powerful. Hey, grateful. One word express my love. Lift your voice and say, I am grateful.
So finally, we'll hear from the representative of our chairman for today's occasion, Senator Adams Aliu Oshombole, here represented by Honorable Joseph Uweoke, who's going to be giving us his brief remarks. We're shutting down this hall in a couple of minutes, if not seconds, so we'll just do this very quickly. So please, can we have your attention as we listen to the message from our chairman for today's event?
Well, thank you so much. I'm not going to make a very long speech. I want to thank you for what you have done for our people. I'm representing the former comrade governor of Edo State, Senator Aliu Adams Oshomole. And he sends his best wishes because he's a lover of you and he's amongst you. And he said he was sorry for not coming. He apologized for that. On his behalf, he said I should donate or make a pledge of 1 million naira to you. Please.
Wow.
Thank you.
This is indeed saving the best for last. Can we put our hands together for our chairman, Senator Adams Aliu Oshomole? He's always been very supportive. Thank you once more for coming. Thank you to all our distinguished guests. We have finally come to the end of this event. See you December 3rd, 2024, when we have the 13th edition of the NAPVID Rights Above Charity Lecture. Thank you all so much and have a safe journey back to your destination.
Have a good night.